Today, we're taking a ride on what's one of, if not the smallest and most unique airlines in America. This is SeaPort Airlines, a regional carrier in the Pacific Northwest that operates the Pilatus PC12, a single-engine turboprop that's pretty much only used as a private plane, except for a handful of scheduled airline operations. Believe it or not, both the flights we'll take with them today are indeed regularly scheduled airline services. So the plan today is to take a PC-12 in between two airports tailored to private aviation, Spokane Field over to Boeing Field, located in the heart of Seattle, and then we'll continue on down to Portland International. At the time of filming this video, the airline currently serves the base of Seattle, Spokane, Portland, and Bend. So not only are we flying on what's essentially a turboprop private jet as an airline passenger, but we're also doing it across multiple legs on what's gonna feel more like a private aviation operation rather than a commercial one. So what's it actually like to fly on something like this? How will a turboprop that's being used as a private plane hold up flying for a public airline with scheduled flights? And is this just gonna feel the same as flying commercial? Or something actually closer to a private jet flying around the Pacific Northwest? What's going on, guys? Casey Flower here. Let's go check out the Pacific Northwest secret airline and actually see if it feels as private as it looks. Well, I'm at Spokane International right now. Let's go catch a ride over to Spokane Felts and check in. Hello.
Hello.
Checking in for Seattle and Portland.
Sweet. Are you Raleigh?
I'm Raleigh.
Right on. Do you have any luggage?
No, sir.
Sweet.
Awesome.
You're all good to go. Just take like 5 to 10 minutes.
All good.
Let's get out of here.
And yeah, after what was probably one of the most chill and informal check-ins ever, only 3 minutes after that, they were ready, and we were boarding. November 724 Kilo Papa will be the 26-year-old PC-12 for both flights today. She started flying as a corporate transport aircraft for multiple entities from 2000 until 2025. When the airline started up in 2025, she was operated by Callanan Holdings to fly for SeaPort, and as we can see, that's still what she's doing now. The seat dimensions and configuration all vary as they're on a movable rail system, so they all depend on how much the seats are spaced out on said system and if it's in the corporate configuration versus the commuter configuration. In this case, it was the commuter configuration, and each of the 8 forward-facing seats have a really comfy width of 24 inches, a pitch of 32 inches, which is just one point on my seat to the same point of the seat in front of me for legroom, or in this case the bulkhead in front of me, and that's also pretty standard to what a regular economy seat is anyway, and they also have a recline of 4 inches. Alright, and not long at all after checking in, we are on the PC-12 over to Boeing Field. The check-in process was extremely informal. The seating area was extremely informal. Just walked in the room and he asked me who I was, and I told him that I was who I was because I was the only person that was going through Boeing Field onto Portland. So just process of elimination, he knew who I was, didn't even want my ID. So yeah, there is only 3 of us on here going on to Boeing Field. I got the nice seat up front with the direct view into the cockpit, but the aircraft and cabin itself, it's in the commuter configuration with 9 forward-facing seats. Very clean and beautiful cabin overall, but there's no entertainment amenities, so no in-seat power, and no Wi-Fi, and definitely no IFE. But as far as the seat dimensions go, it's pretty good. Decent amount of legroom, and a pretty good width as well. But yeah, the pilots up front just briefed us up, and they are starting the engine, and we'll be in the air on our way to Seattle momentarily. Spokane and on our way over to Seattle, cruising at an altitude of 20,000 feet heading over there. It was also a really bumpy departure climbing out of Spokane in the small plane, so that made things a little bit fun. But once we got above like 5,000 or 6,000 feet, it smoothened out. And we also went pretty much right over Spokane International and Fairchild Air Force Base, the two other big airports, or major airports I should say, in Spokane. There's only two other people on here, so once we got them, we were ready. So not even about 15 minutes after I showed up, we were in the air. And about 5 minutes after I showed up and checked in, we were on board. So that's really, really private. And that's pretty much the only thing that has felt private about this whole experience. Just really breezy through the terminal and on the plane, not even any TSA. And I don't think there's going to be any TSA on the ground in Boeing Field either. So that's pretty much the only thing that's felt private about this whole thing. But on board, it's just clean. It's in the commuter configuration, so as mentioned, it's just the 9 forward-facing seats. But really, that's it. No entertainment amenities, as I mentioned. But as commuters, don't care about that. We're only going to be on here for an hour at a time, at the most. So no NC power. But I have my power bank, no Wi-Fi as mentioned, and an entertainment screen is out of the question. But that doesn't matter because the entertainment is looking outside at the views of the Pacific Northwest, as it's an absolutely beautiful day for flying. So yeah, speaking of, we also have views into the cockpit as entertainment. For me, the Av Geek, that's the primary entertainment, is looking into the cockpit at the live instruments. I can see our altimeter at 20,000 feet, and I can also see our ETA and the waypoints and the route on the GPS with the live ETA and how far away we are from the waypoints, which is really, really cool. So yeah, looking into the cockpit is my entertainment. But yeah, as of now, just sit back, relax in the seat. It's a nice seat. It's a pretty standard economy seat, pretty standard dimensions to what we would have in the economy of a regular jetliner. Pretty good width, okay legroom. And we have the bulkhead, which is limiting. On the next flight down to Portland, I'll sit back in the seat with an actual seat in front of it, which should have a bit more legroom. But yeah, pretty standard bulkhead legroom down there. It's what we would get normally on an airliner. But yeah, it's comfy, good recline, good thickness, pretty cushiony, it's comfortable, pretty easy to rest in. But yeah, just sit back, relax, and look outside at the views as we cross the state over to Seattle. Wow, that looks really cool. But yeah, we are getting out of the mountain area with the Cascades and entering the Seattle area, and about 20 miles from the fix where air traffic control is going to vector us around to land. But yeah, I don't think this has to be said, but there's no snacks or drinks on here. I have been on airlines that have operated GA private props like this, and they have gave out snacks and drinks that were kind of in a storage area that you just had to get out and serve yourself. So self-serve snacks and drinks, and there's not any on here. The pilots didn't say anything regarding snacks and drinks stored anywhere, nor did I really see a storage area where they're offered. But yeah, I have flown on some turboprop airliners that have offered snacks and drinks. Advanced air. But yeah. But anyway, we have about 10 minutes until landing, so let's go ahead and enjoy the beautiful views going into Seattle, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys when we get on the ground. It was almost just as bumpy on the way into Seattle, but fortunately, I was not kidding at all when I said that we're gonna enjoy the views into Seattle. There's Payne Field.
to everybody.
Thanks.
Roger will walk you in and we'll get your baggage to you as soon as possible.
Whose landing was that?
Oh, that's Ian's.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Walk you guys in real quick and then grab your bags.
Thanks. Are you guys going on to Portland or no?
Say again?
Are you guys going on to Portland or no? Because I'm
not
continuing on.
today.
Okay.
There is one. You got that PA shit that's gonna take over.
Yeah, okay, I thought it'd be me. I'm going on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, thank you.
Yep. All right, guys, we'll bring you back up.
So when did SeaPort Airlines start up?
We started operations here May 19th, or May 20th rather, of
Gotcha.
last year.
Awesome.
Yeah, we started our Spokane service on March 9th.
Awesome. I just saw you guys start a Bend service as well.
Yeah,
Awesome.
on Friday. We got one going there tomorrow.
Awesome.
So, yeah, Fridays and Mondays to Bend. And,
Okay.
yeah, that's going to be great.
That's cool.
So
So that's Boeing Field to Bend. So is this
Boeing
like...
Field to Bend via Portland.
Okay, cool.
Yep, because
Okay.
we do have some interest in Portland to hop over there too.
Okay, yeah.
And then we'll see how the demand grows, and maybe we might start direct, non-stop service.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
the same plane.
Yeah.
With a quick whistle stop in Portland.
There you go. Yeah, because I'm going on to Portland. So Spokane, Boeing, and then Portland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you putting us on YouTube or
I
something?
am. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. That's great, man.
Yeah.
What's your channel?
KC Flyer. I review like small niche airlines.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. KC Flyer, like as in Kilo Charlie Flyer?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome, man. We'll check it out.
Yeah.
Great. Well, and you're hopping on our next flight here?
Yeah. On the
Okay.
same plane and then
Okay.
going down to PDX.
Well, make yourself, there's a little cafe. Have you been here before to Boeing Field?
I have not.
Okay, there's a little cafe right down the way. They got good sandwiches. There's a restroom at the other end of the hall on the left-hand side. And then your flight to Portland will board out of this gate also.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Awesome.
And so it's Casey?
Yeah, you got it. I completely gave that guy the wrong channel name. I completely gave the captain that flew us in here the wrong channel name when I was interviewing him about the airline. So yeah, when he asked to clarify if it's Kilo Charlie Flyer as opposed to Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha Flyer, which it obviously is, I just agreed and didn't correct him that it was KSEA Flyer. But yeah, so when he searches me up, he'll see this. But yeah, I'm sure he'll figure it out. If he searches up SeaPort Airlines or something, then he'll find this video and my face, and he'll just put two and two together. But yeah, it is what it is. So kind of me being a silly Billy goofhead on my part. But yeah, apart from that, the FBO we got in the waiting area looks super chill. We got a bunch of really nice comfy seats scattered around. Since Boeing Field's kind of the hub of operations, there's going to be multiple flights going out at once. So we got a bunch of seats along with some tables and in-seat power. So we got USBs and plugs and all that. How you doing? Oh, thank you. And the channel is actually Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha Flyer.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't correct you guys. So yeah, KSEA, like that airport.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I dropped my ID. And, yeah, I was able to correct them. But yeah, that was the FO that came up to me. But yeah, we have plugins and power, so you can charge your phone prior to getting on, since there is no in-seat power on the plane, as well as a coffee shop in the main FBO lobby area, so you can get some coffee and snacks to bring on, since there's no snacks on board already. We even got a cup holder that was there, so you can bring your own drinks on. But yeah, we got about an hour to kill until we got to be out of here and go back down to Portland. So I'll go ahead and catch you guys once we're on the plane heading down. Kenmore Air also shows the FBO here, which do commuter and sightseeing flights with the seaplane around the Puget Sound area. A couple months ago, I covered Harbor Air, which do the same thing in the Vancouver area. So leave a like if you want to see me cover Kenmore Air. Oh yeah, and happy birthday, SeaPort. The hour came and went, and that was the three of us boarding the same plane down to PDX.
Yeah, we like to get out just a little bit early if we can and try to make you guys as on time as possible.
7:24?
7:24.
Cool. I just got off it from Spokane, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How was the flight over?
Not too bad. Bumpy coming out and going in, but smooth.
Yeah, up. Yeah.
Yeah, scenic.
clutch your head as you're getting in there. Do you guys need anything in the small bags? You do need to put those ones in the very back.
Alright, welcome back aboard the St. PC12 down to Portland. The seats back here are a little bit different with a seat in front of you instead of a bulkhead. The underneath the seat is just a little bit narrow. There are sort of like metal pieces going across to support the seat, and that just gets in the way of your legroom. As well as there are some parts of the seat that limit legroom as well, which isn't ideal. So honestly, I would go with the bulkhead over sitting behind a seat in front of you, just because of all the parts down there that limit legroom. But yeah, I think it's still the same as regular economy on a regular jetliner. Maybe a tiny bit less, but overall the same. Same 9 forward-facing seats in the commuter configuration. But yeah, we have fired up. The pilots just turned on the AC up there, and we also boarded like 5 or 7 minutes early. So we're gonna end up getting in the air at the time that we were actually scheduled to start taxiing out. So yeah, since we had everyone ready in the boarding area, we were getting out early, and that's what they want to do. Time is pretty much everything at this airline, which is one of the big things that go with flying private. Time is money. And there's also no TSA, so none of that either. So you save a lot of time by not doing any TSA or going through the rush of the big international airports and going into FBOs instead. But yeah, we're gonna get out early, and I'll catch you guys once we're airborne. Alright, we're in the air out of Seattle and on our way down to Portland. So far, nothing to report. It's the exact same as the last one on the same plane. But yeah, the crew have been really amazing. We actually got out so quick that I actually forgot my charging cord in the FBO. So I just mentioned a quick thing to the captain, and they just had one of the customer service agents go in and grab it for me, and they were able to recover that pretty quickly. But yeah, the crew as a whole on SeaPort have been amazing so far. But yeah, as far as the whole private plane feel goes for the PC12, which is obviously often used as a private plane, the seat is alright. The comfort level of it's good, just the legroom, it isn't much, especially back here. If we have an actual seat in front of us, the legroom really isn't much, so I'd definitely go with the bulkhead. But if we don't have a seat neighbor, like I do not have right now, if you have an empty enough flight without a seat neighbor or anyone sitting across from you, then the seats and seatbelt is actually flexible enough to actually stretch across the aisle. And that's really relaxing and comfortable if you can do that. If you don't get anyone across from you, you can actually stretch across the aisle, and I definitely think it works. We also got a headrest back there behind me, so I can rest my head on it so it's not dangling down behind the seat. But yeah, and as I mentioned, no entertainment amenities, so no in-seat power anywhere or no Wi-Fi. But for the quick hour commute, we don't need any of that. The entertainment is looking outside and looking through the cockpit at the live instruments. So yeah. But the big thing that makes this feel like a private plane is just all the time saving. So the airline has been really huge with time saving, and that's really like their main kind of business point. If everyone is in the boarding area and ready, then they're more than happy to board us and get us out a couple minutes early and actually land ahead of schedule quite a bit, because we actually landed in Boeing field like 30 minutes early, and we're on course to landing in Portland another like 20-30 minutes early, which is amazing. But yeah, really the only thing that makes it not as great as time saving is just the fact that it's a scheduled airline service. You still gotta wait for it and still gotta show up when the airline is scheduled to go out and not when you want to go out. So I still had to be at the Spokane FBO by 12:30 when it was supposed to go out, and wait an hour for the next flight to go out. So it is a scheduled airline service, and you still gotta wait for that, which, you know, isn't ideal and makes it not a private aircraft at all. But you can still charter it. So if you have an extra $2,200 spinning around, then you can definitely charter it. But yeah, as far as the airline goes, and paying a couple $100 for the scheduled airline flight, you just gotta wait for it and go on the airline's time and not your own time. But yeah, we're getting close to Portland and already descending, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the rest of the time on our way into Portland to rate the airline using my channel original rating system. I call it the Raleigh rating scale, very creatively named because my first name is Raleigh. If you're new here, I use the scale to rate all the airlines I take at the end of every one of my airline reviews. It has 6 different categories to see how well each airline did at each of the 6. But if you're not new here, good job. Congratulations, you made it this far in the video. So, on the rest of the way into Portland, why don't we go see how SeaPort Airlines did today? The service was a 10 out of 10. As the fast, inefficient service was the only part of the experience that made this feel like a private jet flight. It was literally 5 minutes in between driving up to the curb and getting on board to the seat, and 17 minutes from stepping out of the car to wheels up. Everything was super casual both up front and in the cabin. The customer service was laid back, and all 4 pilots were really friendly. Shout out to that FO for bringing me back my ID. I may need that, it's my driver's license. There was no edibles or drinkables offered on board, so buy your own on the ground. The cleanliness was a 10 out of 10, as it looked great inside and seriously felt like a private plane. The carpet and seats were clean and looked better than presentable. The Wi-Fi was a 0 out of 10, as none was available. The food also was a 0 out of 10, as nothing was offered by the airline. Even on the ground, nothing was provided by the airline complimentary or for a price. There are really only the third parties at the FBO, like that coffee shop. The entertainment was also a 0 out of 10, as nothing was provided on board by the airline to keep us busy. There was no Wi-Fi or entertainment browser to download content, and no in-seat power anywhere, so bring a power bank. You could technically use cellular data when you're low to the ground, but I'm not going to encourage anything. The seat was a 6 out of 10, as there are none of the entertainment amenities mentioned, and the legroom was the same as what it would be in a regular economy seat on a big old jet airliner. I didn't love all the structuring at the bottom of the seat that blocked legroom. You can't stretch all the way under, but I'm short enough that it wasn't a real issue. On the bright side, there's a pretty good chance of it not being a full flight, so it's also very possible to stretch and relax over across the aisle. You could argue that having the room and flexibility to stretch across the aisle makes up for all the obstructions under the seat in front, but that all depends on having a neighbor across from you. The cushioning, headrest, width, and recline were also really comfortable and way more than enough to relax on the hour-long flights. So the overall rating for the airline is going to be a 4.6 out of 10. Now yeah, that's not a lot compared to maybe the more premium products I've looked at on here, as I use the same unscientific scale for everything I take, and we don't need most of the things that a full-service first class would offer. These were quick flights, and you don't need any of that full-service stuff. It was pretty obvious though that time saving is what the airline strives at. Getting all your time back is a big reason to fly private anyway, right? The one big barrier really is pretty much just that you're going off of the airline schedule and not your own. Alright, and just like that, the flight crew pretty much let us out right onto the curb, right next to Atlantic, which is the FBO that SeaPort uses here in Portland. But yeah, overall, I thought it was really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed my video on SeaPort as much as I did on the flight. Final thoughts on it: it doesn't have any of the entertainment amenities that a typical private plane would have. Like, if you think of the entertainment amenities that would be on like a private jet, or even like a more corporate or executive configured PC12, it doesn't have any of that. So yeah, no power or Wi-Fi or really anything like that. The seat comfort was alright if you can make it work by stretching across the aisle like I showed you. I think the seat comfortability was really good. Seat comfort was really good, but yeah. But the on-time aspect that the airline goes with is really, really nice. We just got down in Portland like 20 minutes early, and I just got off the plane like 5 minutes ago, and I'm now walking on the sidewalk back to my hotel. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed my review, and I'll see you guys on the next airline, and I look forward to taking you guys on that next airline on the next adventure. Bye for now.